Good morning, everybody. This is Pope Binary here, and today I want to give you a short video on the trade opportunities that I took today. Unfortunately, I had a bunch of classes at the university I'm at, so I was not able to record these live, but I did take a bunch of trades today, and today is just one of those awesome days in which I won every single trade, and I made a nice $400 today. That's no indication that in the future I don't make $400 every day. If you know about me, you know I've lost 8 trades in a row, so if you can add up the math there, I probably lost about $800 in a day. But today was just one of those days where the stars lined up, and I made a bunch of money. So before we get into showing you the trade opportunities, here's going to be the investing quote of the day. I knew how and why I lost money. When I couldn't play according to my system, which was based on study and experience, I went in and gambled. I hoped to win instead of knowing that I ought to win. And obviously the premise behind this quote is just stick to your system no matter what. And especially when you're doing things like binary options where you're simply gambling on the market. You just have to stick to your system or you will lose money. It's easy to get caught up in these type markets which are choppy and there's real no direction to them. It's easy to just get bored and start gambling away your money. You have to wait for opportunities. And honestly, this is a great opportunity right here. What is the odds that I start recording that right now? So let me just, before we get into this, I'll explain why this is a trade that I'd be looking at right now. But let me just go ahead and show you the trades I took today. So right this morning, right at the gates, let me see. It was Wednesday. Yep, I woke up at about 8:30 and I saw this bearish candle form, and it broke out of this horizontal line. If we see here, this zone right here is a support zone, and so this horizontal line I'm highlighting, this is the bottom of the support zone, right? Because it touches this value and then it touches this value, these 2 points in the market at this value multiple times. When I saw this candle, this bearish candle breakthrough, I went ahead and said in the next 5 minutes it wouldn't break above this line, which is, I put the stake at 76710, and you can see the results here at 1. So that was a cool trade. And so then it continued downward. Then I noticed there'd been some resistance for a bit, and then out of nowhere there's a pretty large engulfing candle. So I went ahead and bet up, and I won that trade. I did not bet on this trade because I was just unsure of the current direction of the market, so I let that one go. And I also did not bet. If we notice, there's a large, whenever you guys see, I'll show you another example too of this, but whenever you see a large bearish or bullish run, and then there's a huge engulfing candle continuing like this big bearish candle right here, whenever it continues in the direction of the current market, you can generally expect a consolidation movement to happen. I don't bet on these because I find these very unreliable, but just know that this is an extremely unreliable pattern. And there's lots of examples of this, but essentially what this is saying is this market had been bearish for a really, really long time, and so the buyers were looking for a place to hop in. And so this large engulfing bearish candle right here, what this signifies is that the bears made one last push because they knew the market was losing momentum, so they made one last push before the bulls would step in and start switching the direction of the market. So those were the trades I placed on the Australian chart. The Euro chart, I did not place any today. Actually, I did place one right here, I remember, because I saw that the markets had been a little choppy, and then when I woke up this morning, there was a large bullish run, and then whenever I see a large volatile movement like this huge bearish candle, especially if it has a really large wick on it, you have to be really cautious in these moments. I find it's best to just step back and let the market determine which direction it's going to go, because a lot of the times it'll just shoot up. It could have shot up or it could have continued downward, and as we can see here, it continued downward. Either way, the point is, don't bet on these type situations because you have absolutely no idea why this is happening. And I can tell you exactly why that happened. I was waiting for it. This is particularly why I woke up so early this morning. This morning there was a there was news release on the U.S. If you don't know about this website, it's called Forex Factory. It's great for news. I suggest bookmarking it. But if we can see here, at 10 a.m. there was a new home sales, and then there are crude oil inventories. So I knew at around 10 o'clock there would be a lot happening on the U.S. charts. And as we can see here, this is where the bulk of the movement in the day happened as a result of those news releases that I just showed you. And obviously, don't trade in markets like this. I actually did take this trade as well because the market had for a very long time been bearish. It lost momentum, and then there was an engulfing candle, so I went ahead and said the market would rise, and I got some money out of that. However, one thing I want to point out is if you see like a neutral market like this, like where my mouse is at right now, you see how the market was kind of flat here, and then you see a sudden breakout. That is a bad breakout sign because see how it bounced up immediately. Let me go ahead and show you what that, if you combine these two candles, what do you think that would look like? That would just look like a candle with a large wick. And let me see if I can get a concrete example. I know this happened the other day, and I was like, I'm really glad I did not take that trade. But it happens all the time. If you just see a neutral market, do not hop in on a sudden breakout candle because you just need to watch, like right here. See how the market had been fairly neutral for the longest time, right? It broke up and then it bounced back down, and then this market bounced back down before bouncing back up. It's a neutral trend. There's no real direction of the market. The market's trying to decide which way to go. Wait until there's a strong bearish or strong bullish market, and then just wait for opportune moments to kick in. And if you don't know these moments, there's lots of patterns. Check out my other videos. I've got lots of other videos on topics like this. So today I just took this trade as well, the GBP versus USD. I'd been patiently waiting. These markets had been choppy all day. Like I said, if you see candles with large wicks like this, you can make a lot of money on them, especially with out-of-the-money trades. But whenever, I don't know, the market was just choppy and I didn't have a general sense of direction. But I did see that there had been an extensive bearish run followed by indecision in the market. And then there was a sudden burst upwards. So I went ahead and said that the market would continue to rise. I put my stake at 122450 and I got money there. And then after I saw the market immediately respond and bounce back down, I said it would fall below I actually put my stake at the 10 value and I got it for about $40 on a sell contract, which is pretty good. And it obviously kept continuing that direction. So these are just called breakout candles, and these are really reliable, I find, to bet on, because if you see a breakout candle after a move, you can generally assume that in the next 5 minutes it's not going to switch directions on you, which is why I like these. Now this US-Japan chart, the only real trade, I took a trade right here because I saw there had been a large bullish run here, followed by support. The market, I saw that it tried to dip down. It tried to start a bearish run, and then got rejected. It approached this horizontal line, got the same value. I saw this pin candle form, followed by a bearish confirmation candle. I bet down, and then as you can see here, I won that trade. And then right here, a double top formed. I saw that there had been the market. If we look at these two here, let me zoom in for you guys to make it a little easier. We had seen these two wicks form on top of these two candles. So this horizontal line, it approached this market on the market approached this value on two separate occasions, got rejected. And then I see right here, it pushed up, tried to push above the same value, got rejected, and then the market turned bearish. And so I went ahead and bet that the market would fall, and it did. And if we can go back in, let's see if I can find that what we started with. This example right here, this is another double top about to form, I believe. So we pushed up, and then the market turned bearish. The bulls are making one last run. If I see a bearish candle form anywhere within the next 5-10 minutes, I'll go ahead and take the trade that the market's going to fall below the current value. So this is just an example of a bunch of trades I took today. Like I said, I came out with about $400 today, which is pretty sweet. It's nice, good money, but like I said, that $400 could just as well easily be lost tomorrow. So you have to be patient, and like going back to this quote that I started with, you have to stick to your system. And instead of gambling, just know that you ought to win based off experience and study. So this is just Pope Binary with another video. Sorry there wasn't any live examples. Like I said, I'm that kid that sits in class with his laptop open to the Forex markets, you know what I mean? So I just had a bunch of stuff I had to do today. And unfortunately, I couldn't record them live, but I'll try and get you some more live examples because you guys seem to really like those. So I'll get you some more of those live examples later. So please subscribe for more. Please like the video, and I'll keep you up on my strategies and what I'm doing. So Pope Binary out.